with them throughout the whole week. I love impacting people. I love helping entrepreneurs. I love seeing entrepreneurs overcome their challenges and overcome their fears. And so I want to acknowledge this guy for showing up big all week, and he got all the energy, all the way to come here.
That's my turn. Thank you, Matt, again. I appreciate you for making this happen. And it's, as I said outside, trying to get someone to, and especially someone who's just had kids. Twins, not one. Twins.
My wife is like begging me to come home.
And for him to come out and say, I'm going to come, I want to shop, leave a championship game that he was playing, a championship handball
I left
game.
Mexico, that we won the North American Championships, and I left
during the game.
Before the final game, the championship game, I left to fly here.
To be here.
To be with you guys.
And then be away from Twins and not having to do this, right, is a huge thing. So I appreciate you. We've been talking. Who knows what happens from here, but there's, I'm sure it's not going to be the last of us.
Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Give him some love on the way out, everybody! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to hang out for a bit. I've got a couple more questions I think that I can do before I also have to do the exact same thing and fly. And then I'll do a couple of books that want to get signed as well. So you've got to get through the gatekeeper over here.
Right.
Has to choose.
Come on, you guys, put your hands up. Who's really hungry for it? Okay, here we go. Your name starts with L. I'm making a 4. Lucas. Yes.
All right, Lucas. What you got, my friend?
What is one thing that you learned the hard way that you could share to someone and it would...
Bye, Lewis.
Hi, Lewis. Love you, Lewis.
Alright, what's one thing that you learned the hard way that you could share with someone that could save them years of pain?
How long do you have? Tons. The first thing that came to mind for me is that, and I look back at where it all came from. So I was not great at school, ADHD, and back then it wasn't, you don't get medicated. You just literally the doctor said, don't give him sugar, and this is a true story, and make him run around the house 5 times before bed. That's it. And literally at school, the teacher would be like, hey, go outside, run around the oval and come back. That's it. So for me, I then didn't fit in at school. I didn't do well at school. I'm not stupid, right? I couldn't have got this far by not having some smarts, but I wasn't engaged in school. I couldn't sit there and cross my legs and listen to someone read a book for fucking 2 hours, right? When I was 6. I don't know if now it's more acceptable. You go to my kids' school, you can go on your fucking head and sing Kumbaya in the corner while they're reading a book. They don't care. But back then, in the 80s, it was different. So I think for me, I had this, I just didn't like school. I love lunchtime, recess, I love playing basketball and chasing the girls. That's it. I did not care about the stuff in between. So when I left school, I was like, no more teachers, no more stuff. So then I got into some of my first proper jobs, like in sales and stuff. I was terrible at it, I got good at it. So then hating school and getting into sales and becoming good at it built me into 2 things. Massive ego, because I thought I was great. And the second thing is I want to learn from anybody else because I didn't like teachers and all that kind of stuff. Then I married one, that's a whole other thing. Anyway, so that meant the greatest lesson that I had was the real simplicity of success. And I think people overcomplicate it. Whatever you want in any discipline of life, all you need to do, find somebody that connects with you. Because sometimes people have something to share with you, but you can't get it. You're kind of bored. It can't be fun. So number one, you have to connect to the messenger, the messenger, and then second, you have to connect the message, right, of that person. So for example, I might have a great message, but some people might not connect with me. Right? Whereas others that like my message and like the messenger, as in like how I do it, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this makes sense, pay attention, let's do this. So I had a job. I actually ended up getting pretty good at it. So I saved $180,000, and I always had side hustles forever, right? So I didn't stop working, and then start companies. So I was like, let's go all in, right? And so then I finally started, I left my job, I started, I can't remember what business it was, probably 2 or 3 at the same time. And I blasted through $180,000 in that, with under 12 months, right? All stupid shit, just dumb shit, dumb marketing. I remember getting offers with a reception desk with no customers or no receptionist. I look back and I'm like, you're just an idiot and all the things you did. So then I was like, I don't want to learn. Then I ended up having that. Then through the time I was, I met my girlfriend, obviously now my wife, and I was in one moment I was living at her house. So I left. I had a penthouse apartment when she met me. Left all that, living at her house. Had to borrow my mum's car, live in her house, in debt, broke, and then I was like, okay, Aaron, you don't know what you're doing. And so I had to either go back to corporate life and make great money, and that was alluring, or I had to go and learn. So I did the hardest thing ever. I swallowed it up, and I turned to my girlfriend and I said, I need a loan. She went to the bank. We lived in her house. She bought a house, subdivided the backyard, built a unit in the back, and we lived there. She had more money than me. She only had that house. She went to the bank and they said, we can draw another mortgage against the house and we give you $16,000. And she gave that to me, right? With that $16,000, I spent money on this stuff. And that's when it really changed. Because then I found myself around people that were actually doing it. What I didn't realize is I got a community as well, of people on the same path, which I desperately needed because entrepreneurship's hard and lonely if you're not around the right people. And then I never look back. For me, it's a really, when I talk about people that, whether they want to do coaching or masterminds or programs, I'm like, it's really simple. If you get that piece of knowledge, will you make an ROI if you do it? If the answer is probably yes, then you've got your whole life to reap the rewards of that thing you've learned. And so I felt like I found this big hack in life, which is like, find the messenger, find the message, and then go and listen to them. Don't make excuses, do what they say, and then you get there. And I think for me, that is the thing I like to share. And I don't give a shit whether they come and hang out with me, or if they don't like me, hang out with somebody. But even, I love podcasts and listen to podcasts, but if you just fucking listen and do nothing, then why waste your time listening to a podcast? Why? To feel good? To get a dopamine hit, like you're going to do something one day? For me, get around people that are doing it, learn what to do properly, and the world's changing so much. You've got to get around those that are actually doing it properly, doing it well. And that was the biggest lesson for me that I wish I just want to tell everybody is get around mentors, get around a community, right? And if you're around great mentors and a great community, you'll get there faster and you'll enjoy the process a lot more. When I've got my mentors I go to, I've got my peers that I go to. We're legitimately annoyed that we have to leave each other today. We've had the best dinners, the best time. We've built, and we've known each other, but we've got to spend a whole week together as peers, and we're vibing off each other. I'm giving him ideas, he's giving me ideas. We're doing some stuff together, and so for me, he's my community. I've got my mentors. He's my community. Because my wife's not an entrepreneur. My wife doesn't have social media. She's not a +1 waiting behind the scenes to see me. That's not who she is. She's who she is. Most of my closest friends from school have got nothing to do with business. They're an HR manager. Fuck that, right? Police officer. Maybe, but I was probably reckless. None of them are there. I've got my entrepreneurial friends. But I have to be around those that are doing better than me, that inspire me. I want to learn what they do that's working. I want to be around a community to celebrate with. We got to celebrate. We had a great dinners. We had to celebrate each other's success. We get root for each other. He's trying to make the Olympics handball team at 42 or something, right? And I'm like, man, go for it. That's your thing, right? I'm like, what the fuck's handball? Let me look it up. What's handball? And same with me. He's just, I've unlocked some things for him around empires he didn't realize, and he's already successful. And so we're both in the community together that we get to be a part of. So the greatest hack I can give you, the greatest saving thing you can do is invest in yourself into whatever you need. Now that extends into better food, going to the gym, books, whatever it is. It's not just about the business stuff, but invest to become a better version of you, because then your life becomes better because of it. So I think that if I can give you something that's going to save you time, learn off somebody else's time, learn off somebody else's experience. Don't try to work it out yourself, and I get it, When someone said to me, oh, Aaron, I can't afford to hang out with you. I said, well, isn't that the reason why you need to find a way? If you can't afford, I get it, I had no money, but I had to find a way. If you can't find a way to go and make something like that small, like an investment into something happen, how are you going to make it as an entrepreneur? You can't solve that problem out. Go sort it out, make a phone call, right? Because when you pay attention. Big difference. You know what I mean? There's a difference in it. So I think whatever you can, get around the right people, get around a community, learn, and then implement like fucking hell. You know what I mean? Like you got to implement. And that's why MAIA means so much to me, because it's massive immediate action. It's not, oh, maybe one day, it's like now. Now. And we live in a world where that's important, right? So the greatest hack ever, the best piece of advice I can give you ever that's going to save you time and money is spend some time and money on things you need to learn and then implement like crazy. Yeah.
Great question, Lucas. Okay, next question. Can you come up to the microphone? Yeah. What's your name?
Hi, Aaron. I'm Melanie. What's the most surprising thing someone who inspires you has said?
Lots of things, but again, what comes to mind, I think I already mentioned it before. I actually mentioned it before, but it is really true. When I know I'm doing okay, but when someone like Richard Branson says you're doing really well, and that post that he posted that I think James read out, like I didn't know that was coming. I woke up to 50,000 messages. I'm like, what is going on? Either it's really bad or really good, right? I'm like, there's something. Probably really bad. You know, I'm getting that many messages. It was like, hey, Richard's posted about you. I'm like, what? Hope it's good. And then there's a line he said, where he said, basically about, and he said to me in person, like basically being so proud about how much I've dedicated to my life of helping others. Because, you know, this, you know, for me, doing this is so fucking inconvenient. It's so inconvenient. Right? Like coming to another place, having spent time, talking to people about, like I could just be home doubling my own empire, hanging out with my own kids, you know. But my dedication to this is because when I got into the rooms with the right people and they poured into me and I became successful, I said to myself, I need to find a way to keep giving back. And I don't say it as a throwaway comment. I genuinely, and don't get me wrong, if there was like 10 Mr. Empires out there, I'd be like, thank fuck I can retire. You guys do it. You know what I mean? But there's not. And I've been doing this for 20 years and no one's doing it. No one's like prepared, because we're talking about empires, not just digital marketing or sales or like, you know, or drop fucking shipping or something. It is the big enchilada. So now what surprised me is him saying you're doing well, and I think them saying you should be really proud of how much you dedicate to pouring into others, because for him, he's got his own causes. He cares a lot about, you know, certain things. He cares about the ocean. He cares about the death penalty. He cares about a few things, and he puts part of his brand and power behind that. You know, conflict. You know, trying to solve conflicts in the world. And so I look at that and I go, wow. You know, when the war first broke out, I think Ukraine and Russia, within a week he's over there seeing the Prime Minister trying to help. Like, you know, this is an entrepreneur who lives on an island, yet he can make a phone call and get a court with a Prime Minister trying to help in some way. That's power. That's ability to help. So that was probably the most surprising thing to me. I knew it, but to have someone like that say, you're doing really well, and you should be proud of how much you still care and give back. You know, like Lewis mentioned, that to me was surprising, because I've been so focused on just helping people and doing it. I didn't really, not that I thought others saw, but I just didn't realize how much that part of my life of helping. Professionally, I don't think the greatest legacy I have is going to be building an empire. I think professionally, the greatest legacy I think I'm going to have is the amount of humans I'll be able to help in some way that I'll never meet. Like all of you here, you've got people that will benefit from you becoming empire builders, and I'll never meet some of these people, but they'll benefit because you became who you know you need to be, and that might ripple through to you to somebody else. That'll always be my greatest legacy. And although every year this gets harder, I'm like, you know, can I, as in like my time, can I do more events? Can I do more things? Can I do, you know, I used to do more tours, now we do less, more empires, now we do less. You know, only work with certain amounts of people, you know. I still try and find a way to find space in my time, because I think I'm doing good work and I'm trying to help, and I'm also evolving and growing. Like, it's funny, I had somebody come to Empire recently and they said, oh, I went to Empire 3 years ago. They're like, it's so different. I'm like, well, it should be, because I'm still on my journey. I'm not done. right? I'm only 42. I've built a bunch of businesses. I've been doing it for 20 years. You know, I'm learning, I'm growing. You know, like Lewis is starting his baby journey now. You know, he's got 9-month-old twins and he's in a new era. So he's learning and growing. So I'm still trying to share what I know now. I'm still trying to share what's working now. And I think that for me, the most surprising thing is when people have seen what I do and go, or they come and they experience this and they go, fuck, that's why you do it. Because from the outside, they're like, why are you doing that? Doesn't make sense. Why are you doing that? You know, and I think that for me, that's what became surprising. And it's hard to then let go of doing it because I know it's important in my legacy, but also I don't trust anyone else is going to do a good job of what I do.
Yes.
Thank you, Melanie. That's a great question. All right, I believe it's the last question. So you're going to want this. Come up to the microphone up here. Yes, you. Come up.
What was the biggest self-limiting belief you had to overcome in your entrepreneurial journey? One that held you back the most?
I've had a lot, so I'm trying to cycle through the most important. I think the big one for me. It would probably be imposter syndrome, because I would be in situations where I would start to create some success, and then I'd be like, you know, how did I get here? Did I earn that? Did I not? Am I ready for this? You know, is there someone better than me? And that whole idea of imposter is where you don't feel like somehow you've kind of winged it, you've kind of done that. And even though I can look at it logically and know it's not true, like no one will outwork me. You know, no one. I remember, and I don't give this as advice, I just tell you as a fact. I mean, I went through a good 8 years, where I was going to bed at midnight, 7 days a week, and getting up at 3 a.m. This is 7 days a week for years, right? It was fucked, right? You know when you wake up and you're like, did I go to sleep? I still feel like nauseous. That was what I did, and I chose to. It affected my mental, spiritual, physical, health. I wasn't, doing really well, but I just went, I need to get myself out of this. I need to build where I need to go. And so even with all the work that I did, that self-doubt sometimes, like, can I achieve this? Who am I? You know, who would want to listen to me? Who would want to work with me? Who would want to invest with me? Who would want to buy stuff from me? Who would want to partner with me? So I think that imposter syndrome part was a big part for me. And I had to start believing in me a bit more, like, actually, you know what, Aaron, you have earned it. You know, you have worked for it. You have got to where you need to be. And although I've had a lot of limiting beliefs that held me back, and it's funny, in Empire, it's called Breakthrough Day, because we got to work through all our shit. You know, we've got to work through all the things that are holding us back. Because if I go sit there and go, oh man, he's here to buy a business, why do you think some people I teach to buy a business go out there and do fucking nothing? Because they go, all right, I got to go, and then they get in front of the phone and they go, no, I can't call that business. Can't walk into that business. Because some belief is holding them back from taking that next action. So we've got to break through all that crap to work out, who you need to be on the other side of that fear. And, we spent a lot of time day one looking and understanding and doing that, because then the money, the scale, the empire, that all opens up on the other side of it. So for me, the biggest thing I had to really work through is I think it was that imposter syndrome. Even, I remember years ago when I first started to put deals together, and I was probably only 25 or something, and I was sitting in a boardroom and there was a couple other guys similar age to me. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself, we start to negotiate and do stuff. Then one of them goes, oh, you're similar age, right? Yeah, where'd you go to school? No one asks that if they're from a shit school. They say it when they're from a great school. Now, I felt this come up in me, right? I was more successful than them, but I felt less than because those two went to 2 private schools in Melbourne. and I went to some shithole that doesn't exist now. And I didn't feel like I belonged. And I allowed myself to, I don't remember that negotiation was shit. I went from feeling like I can, let's do this, to like, and I let that imposter syndrome come back. I let those things come back. So for me, believing I'm worth it, believing that I can do it, believing a little bit in my own, like good. I'm believing a little bit on my own success, and I think for me, that's some of the greatest stuff I had to work on. Now it's different, you've got to deal with like losing lots of money. Yeah. Even making money is challenging too, right? Like, how do I deal with that, making money, all that, and when you scale, there's lots of other issues you've got to go through. That's why day 3 we talk about scale. But for me, especially early on in my career and me, it was just, I didn't feel I belonged. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And then I felt like that, how do I make this success happen? Even though I failed 8 times and created a success 9th, not like I winged it and somehow made a bunch of money in the first year or 2, but I still felt that, and I had to work through that. So for me, believing in myself, believing I was worth it, and that translated into, even in how I would hire people, my boundaries in friendships, the people I'd have around me, all changed when I started to have that relationship with me. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. I had to really believe in me, believe what I had done, deal with the imposter stuff of who am I, to even talk, even at the beginning, like, who want to be a business owner? My dad's a drug addict. Who want to be a business owner? My parents, who want to be a business owner? Right? Who want to be, even to start a company, even to selling a product, even hiring somebody? Who want to hire somebody? It wasn't just now, imposter syndrome, because I'm Mr. Empire. This is at the beginning. I had to deal with this the whole way. And I realized the way through that was being around others that pull me up. Being around others that call me out my shit. But on the reverse, being around others that cheer for me, that say, well done, and that see who I really am, and see who I really can become, and champion that. And unfortunately, and even here in Australia, like, I love our country, I love where they're from, but fuck, we've got to improve on some shit, right? Especially how we treat entrepreneurs and how we treat those that are trying to give it a go, right? Because this is the stuff we have to improve on. That's the reason why communities are so important in Australia. Like, I go to America, and I love America, but I go to America, everyone's cheering you on. You fail, it's like, I may have fucked up massively, how good's that? It's on the next thing, it's great. Here, I love the beginning, but then, oh no, that guy's got too much money. Oh, that guy's out there, that guy's this, that guy's there. And I think that that's something that we need to deal with. And I think that I'm not trying to go change the country to deal with that. All I'm doing is growing my community to allow others a space where they can feel seen, heard, they can feel successful and say, I made a fuck ton of money today. And everyone's like, yeah, man. Or they can be, I stuffed up, can you help me? Because that community will help them deal with some of those fears they need to go through. And for me, I've got my community, I've got my people I get to, where we get to have honest conversations that aren't recorded, it's just us behind the Instagram and cameras and stuff. And that to me is important as well. So it's a lot of, I've had to go through a lot of problems over my time, but honestly, that imposter syndrome, the feeling like I don't deserve or belong, was probably the biggest thing that I had to deal with and constantly work through.
Awesome.
You're welcome, mate.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Aaron. We're like so grateful for your time. We appreciate you. Over to you.
So I've got a look. Oh my God. Okay, if you would like, I know some books over here. If you'd like me to personally sign one for you, I'm happy to hang around for a little bit and just do a couple of books as well. Cool. So if you'd like to do that, you guys want to put up a line over here, and I'm happy to do that
Excellent.
for you guys.
Book signing
And
time.
other than that, I
Yay.
look forward to seeing the majority of your empire and helping you serve you.
Oh,
Thanks for
fantastic
being here,
day.
everybody.
Fantastic day. Greatness in business event at the Star Casino in Brisbane with Lewis Howes from the US and of course Aaron Sansoni. And Angelique. It's been a great time, haven't we? It's been awesome. Yay. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Aaron. And keep being awesome. Let's stay connected. Find all my links at linktr.ee/all one you'll find in my bio. Have a great day or night wherever you're in the world. Bye for now.